Good morning and a happy Saturday morning to everybody. All right, we have mishmash of stories in here. We're talking about multiple things, but mainly the fact that if Harry wants back with the royal family, he's going to have to eat some humble pie. I have an update on the animals for you and also another recipe. So I hope you all will stick with me. This is just video 1 of 2. Let's jump in. Let's go. Do you all remember when William and Catherine went to Jamaica to celebrate the Queen's Platinum Jubilee? Do you guys remember that when they got there, Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness was very rude in front of cameras and informed William and Catherine that they were going to be transitioning into a republic, something that, by the way, has never happened, I might add. Do you all remember that a lot of photographers took pictures at certain angles and tried to make it look like people were in cages and William and Catherine were shaking their hands? You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. By the way, Jamaica has never left the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth, which was called Empire 2.0, we all know, by Harry and Meghan. Anyway, to make a long story short, let's not forget that it wasn't long after that, in January, that Harry and Meghan flew to Jamaica and stood there chatting with the Prime Minister, who was very embarrassed that he was there. There was obviously an ulterior motive from Harry. Remember, he went down on a Paramount jet. He was there with Paramount executives. There was something else wanting to go on, but nothing else happened. So I lay this at the feet of the Prime Minister, Holness. By the way, in case that name rings a bell, that was because I believe his niece was the one that went to work for Harry and Meghan. She didn't even last a year and she was out. Whatever it was Harry and Meghan were trying to do, it didn't work. Let's face it, that trip to Jamaica was a big fat fail. She's walking around in this huge ball gown. She ends up in a separate theater from the rest of the group. And she ends up sitting next to people wearing jeans in this ball gown in a sticky theater seat. It was literally a joke. I don't know what this was supposed to accomplish, but whatever it is, they ended up looking stupid. And this picture really gets me beyond anything that William and Catherine have done, because look at the people behind Meghan. They look miserable. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Next up, we have an update on ARO. They're saying that this business may have to be abandoned altogether. Meghan Markle may have to start from scratch. This trademark dispute with the United States Patent and Trademark Office is questioning everything. Remember, first there was a logo. It wasn't clear enough. Then the naming was too vague. Now somebody else has stepped up and said, no, this is too close to mine. Now this is going on. Guys, this is what happens. Now she needs investors. And if these people can't get a return on their investment, and the company isn't running or it starts to run at a loss, people don't want to invest in this mess. Listen, this is once again for me. This is another example of I don't need anybody's help. I know what I'm doing. It's fine. I can do my own work. And then look what happened. She's not selling anything that's unique. She's not selling anything different. All she's done is help highlight the stuff that King Charles is selling, which is now flying off the shelves. Moving on. All right, next up, I have an update on the Invictus story. I just discussed this with you guys yesterday. I told you that NATO put something up that said, Invictus Games demonstrates blah, blah, blah. And then Invictus Games put something up, thank you to NATO. When nobody's talking about the Invictus Games, everybody's talking about Harry. So here's some of the updates for you. First of all, we already know that 2,000 veterans have stepped away from the games. Now it's being reported another 800 have stepped away. I have to look that one up, but that's what's being reported. And then one of the things from NATO said, thank you to Dominic Reed for being there. Well, that's very interesting because Dominic Reed quit as the Invictus CEO months ago. So if he's not there anymore, why would they put down that he was there at NATO listening to the things that are being said? That makes absolutely no sense at all. Remember, he stepped away. And we also know that this was all released because of Prince William's homelessness initiative. And we also know that Prince Harry, I completely agree with this, he's so blinded, he's so jealous by Prince William, he doesn't know what to do with himself. Absolutely. They're actually calling him the King of Hearts. Can you believe that? I can. And we know that in despair, Harry insisted that William, with his, quote, alarming baldness, was losing his famous resemblance to Mummy. It was fading, apparently, right? Oh my God. So they're saying that in William's ITV special, he totally channeled Diana. He had the same big-eyed stare, the same, quote, capacity to make the unseen in society feel seen, the same sincerity. As William readily owned, he had taken guidance from what his mother did. So William isn't just a celebrity, he's a super celebrity. Now, the second part of the documentary is set to air soon. And don't forget, I told you guys it's available on Disney Plus. So what comes to my mind is, since the second part hasn't come out yet, what is Harry going to do to try to take the thunder again from William? Didn't work, but he's trying. And this thing that William's doing showcases the legacy of Princess Diana because it spotlights the issue of homelessness. And these pictures show William at the Passage, the Center for Homelessness, doing discussions with charitable organizations and property owners. He's out there doing the legwork, the same legwork that Harry should have been doing instead of trying to co-opt his mother's memory. Oh, I just love this. All right, let's move on. All right, next up, I just want to say a thank you to this Twitter user, Breathe Me, because they basically brought up the fact that Harry's a racist, a Nazi, a drug addict, an alcoholic. And these aren't just allegations. There's proof of every single one of these things. I mean, there's just no way around it. The fact that he has grown up like this, the fact that he still is like this is nothing that he used to be, and he's grown out of it and he's gone to treatment. Now he's clean. He's still an alcoholic. He's still a drug user. He's still got severe psychological problems. Yeah, absolutely. And keep in mind that this is the man who sold his family down the river for cash so that he could be with his wife, who it's being reported now he's separated from. I mean, how long can you live with somebody when they have your balls in their purse? You know what I'm saying? We all know what's going on here. It's so odd to me. And I've said this before, that everybody could see it but Harry. So odd. All right, let's move on. Keep in mind, when you're looking at this article above, that Harry and Charles have not been together since February, when Harry flew over for that 15-minute visit, the second he found out that his father had cancer. And he went over and said, I'm willing to step into the royal role to help out, remember? And King Charles was like, no. We know that Harry's relationship is on thin ice because he publicly complained about Camilla after he was warned not to. People are still saying, well, can't Harry come back to the royal life? Could he do this? Could he do that? You never say never with the royals is being reported. However, in this case, I'm going to say never. Now, it's being reported, a good starting point is that it's normal for Harry to visit the UK and see his father with his children. That's a good place to start. But that's never going to happen, guys, because remember, Harry says the UK is too dangerous. He's willing to go to Colombia. He's willing to go to, all these other countries where they're the murder capital of the world. But he can't go back to the UK because it's too dangerous. And let's not forget that he's also suing his father's government, or he's appealing after he's lost, for security. So all you guys that are out there going, oh yeah, they're going to come back together. They're going to come back together. You guys need to get your heads out of whatever hole you've got them in, because it's not going to happen. Let's get one thing straight. The way back into the royal family is not going to be through King Charles. It's going to be through his brother, William. And the only way that that's going to happen is if Harry eats some, quote, serious humble pie. If they can't even get on speaking terms again, it's just not going to happen. It's never going to happen. Harry has to realize that. He can't be that ignorant. Well, maybe he is. All right, let's move on. All right, before I do the recipe, I want to send out a big thank you to one of my subscribers from Canada. She did not give me permission to speak her name. She sent this fabulous, this looks like Tigger, and a beautiful card, I might add, and she sent it for my son, and I'm going to absolutely give it to him. And thank you so much for sending that. For those of you that are asking how the animals are doing, they seem to be sticking together a lot, and Finn has become very clingy. He follows me into the bathroom, and yeah, but they're doing okay. All right, let's move on to our recipe. Hi guys, all right, we're making a recipe. We're doing meatloaf today. So it's not kosher, but it's just a really easy meatloaf recipe that my husband happens to love. So I'm gonna show you how we make this. Let's go. So the first thing you do is spray a dish with the nonstick spray. In a bowl on the side, I then combined 2 eggs, 3/4 cup milk, and 3/4 cup of seasoned breadcrumbs. Let it sit for between 5 to 10 minutes. I let it sit for 5. Then you add 2 pounds of ground beef, half an onion that's been diced up really well, okay? You're going to add 1 tablespoon of ketchup, 1 teaspoon Italian seasoning, 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley, a little bit of a turn of some black pepper. You're going to mix it all up with your hands and you're going to put it in the dish. Now, you can saute the onions ahead of time in a teaspoon of butter. I choose not to. For me, that's just extra calories. So you're going to put it in this dish, and I cooked it for an hour at 350 degrees. Now, towards the end of that, I took a half a cup of ketchup and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, mixed it together really well, and spread that all over the top of it, and then let it cook another 10 minutes, like towards the 10 minutes. Then you're going to take it out of the oven and let it rest for about 10 minutes before you slice and serve. It was absolutely delicious. Now, one of the things you can add to the meatloaf sauce at the end if you want is half a cup of chili sauce, but that's totally up to you. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Hit the like and the subscribe button and the bell for all notifications. Then go down into the description box after you leave your comment where you'll find the link to video number 2. Let's go.